And good evening here on FloorHSFootball.com as we come to you live here in house, in the studio, in the office as we kind of just go around and look around the state. You'll kind of see me kind of working here tonight as we're kind of doing this. We'll do this kind of every Friday night, but we'll do some Friday night reactions here as we come in and think. And so far, already here that we already have seen here is interesting enough. Cardinal Gibbons only scored 4 points tonight. I know you ask, how did they score 4 points? Two safeties, but they got ran over by Shamana Madonna 41-4. So 41-4, your final score there coming in here. And we're going to update some scores here as they come in here. And, it's really interesting to see what's going on here. And of course, if you're watching here on between on FloorHSFootball.com on the YouTube channel, Facebook, and on Twitter, the platform known as X, you can find us there and everything and all that. So we're just going to make sure to, it should be showing that we're live on X too. We have thing, and yep, it is showing live on X, so y'all can join us there as well and everything there. So I appreciate the big guy and everything here who has come along and helped us get us going here. And we're going to see that here, not just here with the Friday night reactions, but also the Blitz coming up on Tuesday. Myself and Marty Paulman will be doing the Blitz every Tuesday night, 8 to 10 here on FloorHSFootball.com. And we'll be talking about what's going on around the state, kind of getting y'all filled in with everything, scores around the state and all that. So, what would you like to say? Read this out for our big sponsor here that helped us get this going with the video. That's Philip Crutchfield at Raymond James here in Gainesville. No two of us are exactly alike. That's why you need a financial advisor with the freedom on focus on the details that make your life your own, your family, the challenges you face, the dreams that inspire you. Whatever your goals, you need an advisor who can create a plan uniquely tailored to you, all backed by the sophisticated resources of Raymond James. That's life well planned. To learn more, call financial advisor Philip Crutchfield at 352-642-8330. Raymond James and Associates, Inc., member of New York Stock Exchange, SIPC. All right. So, yeah, I mean, it's week 2 here in the Sunshine State. First of all, before we really kind of get into more of the scores here in terms of reactions and stuff, thoughts and prayers to everybody that was impacted by Hurricane Idalia this week. It's been a really, I'd say challenging kind of type of week in terms of, for especially areas northwest of Gainesville, between Tallahassee and Gainesville, just with everything that has been going on. And, it just really, it's hard to see some of these rural areas, where football is their backbone, football is their pride and joy. And, tonight it's, Taylor County, Madison County, Lafayette, Suwannee, Columbia, Fort White, these places, Jefferson County, these places are not playing football tonight. So, but there's some good news for some areas that are on the horizon. Columbia and Fort White plan to be back in action next week. So it looks like that we've got that situated there going on there. But kind of trying to take a look at some things here and see what else is going on here is that, Taylor County, Suwannee, Lafayette, these places where Idalia, I basically went. It just basically, they've been told it's going to be weeks before some of these places are going to have power again. And especially for Perry, it's going to be a long time, recovery here. We're not even sure if they're going to be able to continue the season on, because right now there is no football stadium. The football stadium's been destroyed. The press box was basically ripped. A lot of the bleachers were destroyed there at Taylor County High School. My understanding is over in Lafayette, some of the not so much damage on the issue. There was a few things there, but it's more about the electricity in the county. And again, it's just some of these places there's electricity. Well, if you can't have school, there's no electricity. So that may be part of the reason why you're not going to be able to see some things happening there. But in the case of things going on, it's just really we're gonna keep them in our thoughts and prayers, and just kind of do what we got to do and do what we do best here in keeping them in mind here. And hopefully all these teams will be able to get back on the field, but we'll see we will see what happens here as we kind of get ready to roll here through the week 2 scores and stuff. And of course, got scores coming in here on Score Stream. The scores are powered by Score Stream, and so we've got a lot going on here, and we're going to just kind of report on these scores here that as they come in and stuff. And so we're just going to kind of breeze around the state here in terms of what's coming in final. You're going to kind of see me working on the thing. So what we're going to kind of do here is report scores that are coming in, and at the same time I'm kind of actually working on posting them to Twitter as well, on the platform called X. I should say. It's gonna be a long time before I can actually kind of get out of that one, because it really is it's hard to, with name changes and stuff. So it's really with all that, so then and all that. We had a thing. I had a thing a bit ago about a score with the Cypress Bay Blanche Ely game. Someone reported 63-42. Well, it was never the case. I had a hunch that the score was wrong. So the final was 42-13, Blanche Ely over Cypress Bay, and we've got that coming in. So we're just going to kind of cruise around here, get the scores, kind of look around and see what we got here. We're going to we're going to kind of start with the Panhandle, because sometimes getting scores from South Florida takes a few minutes, because sometimes it's just, the reporting there. But in some of these areas, we've got some scores here that, are already gone final. So we're just going to make sure they're verified final, and we're going to do that right now. And already looking at it here, Vernon 24-20 over Franklin County. So, it's really great to see that. Vernon getting on the winning side of things finally. I don't think they won a game at all last year. So Vernon is back in the win column here. So that's good for them right now. And good to see that. But a pretty good game between Vernon and Franklin County here. So that's great for both teams right there. To play a good contest right there between the two programs right there. Bluntstown, if I'm going to find out here in a moment on this one, but Bluntstown last week stunningly lost to Walton. A lot of people were writing about Bluntstown High on terms of everything in terms about the game, for this I should say for the game this week, like a lot of people had Bluntstown just rated so high. But Bluntstown playing Rutherford this week after dropping 35-7 to Walton this week. Right now it shows final 17-13, trying to figure out what's going on there. We're going to figure that out in a moment here. And we're going to find out here. I'm going to just do a little digging into this one, because, again, it's important to get the scores accurate. That's what the big thing we want to do, is that we want to make sure the scores are accurate when they are reported and when they come in. So what the big thing is that we just want to check. And yeah, it definitely is 17-13. That is a final there. Did get that verified here just now. So the Bluntstown picks up their first win of the season. And we'll get that out there now. Looks like Tate may have, looks like from the coach's wife, I can verify this from the head coach Summerford's wife, as verified. Tate has won 54-0 over Pensacola. That is a final there. And trying to find out, and I've got to going to find out here a couple of things. And of course, Niceville picks up a win tonight, 42-7 over Milton. So Niceville moves to 2-0 on the season. Of course, now Twitter wants to freeze. This is the life of technology here. I believe in everything going on here with all the stuff going on. So we'll try to figure out what's going on here. Why now all of a sudden I have a frozen browser? All of a sudden here, we'll try to get that here situated here in just a moment here. So trying to get this situated here. So I don't know why my browser is all of a sudden frozen, but we'll figure this out here in just a moment here. And trying to figure this out, why we have a frozen computer now all of a sudden. So trying to get trying to get this situated here. I don't know why my computer is all of a sudden frozen. Let's see what happens. There we go. We're back now. There we go. I don't know what happened there, why it just froze. It was the thing. So there we go. I'll bring this comment in here. Jonathan Ferris joined in and chimed in and wants to know what's going on with the Lincoln Pace game. Right now, I'm showing Lincoln 14 pace in fourth quarter. So again, I love my partner who sends me a text message who's apparently watching from downstairs. So, and I love it. I appreciate it. I appreciate my sweet pea there, Jenny, doing that for me. All right, guys, so the thing going on right now and everything. So appreciate that. So, but Jonathan, again, 14-7 Lincoln over Pace right now in the fourth quarter. And of course, how about this one that we're going to bring up here in a moment about Cocoa scores their second win of the season, a 31-24 with Venice. And what makes this interesting is that Venice now falls to 0-2 on the season. And, I'm having a little bit of a hard time trying to figure out what's going on with John Peacock's group there at Venice. I mean, it's, dropping the shocker last week against Armwood. And now, going up against Cocoa, it was a matter of a coin flip of who was going to win that game. But this one, it's like, Venice 0-2 again, we got to really think about this one for a moment, though. Again, Venice might be 0-2, but let's think about Venice came into the state championship game with 3 losses last year. So don't write Venice off yet. Venice plays a very difficult schedule. It's just that, losing last week, to Armwood was kind of a shocker to everybody. But this time around, I would say here it's this one I would expect a lot. I would have expected this game to go either way, but 31-24 Cocoa. Cocoa moves to 2-0. Venice 0-2. We'll see what happens with the Indians here coming up here over the next few weeks, and then of course we've got this one coming up here, Manatee over Sarasota 27-14. So, I really like that one right there. Manatee is really, starting to gel more so with Jaquez Green, now in his third year, first year, a couple years ago, it was having to build a program back. Last year made the playoffs. This year, I think this year, Manatee could really make some noise. They did make some noise last week when they defeated Lake Minneola, who made the regional finals in Class 4S last year. So, we're starting to see a preview of what can we maybe expect later on this season, maybe towards when we get to the playoffs. I think that is the big thing we're going to be looking at it. And Jonathan, I actually agree with you here on that one. There's Manatee could win 4S. That's a potential chance. I think 4S really is wide open right now, given the fact that, Lakeland did win tonight, by the way. Lakeland did beat Largo. Lakeland's 1-1. Lakeland dropping that game to Miami Norland last week. That kind of sent a shockwave right through the 4S classification. Venice 0-2. Then there's that discussion. 4S is kind of just wide open right now. It really is wide open. And of course, yes. I'll pop that comment up right here too. That popped up, and I appreciate that. I love it. So, all right. So right now, I'm just going to kind of go through more Panhandle scores as we got them coming in final. I'm just making sure that I'm going through as you sit here. We're going to talk, we're going to react, and we're going to do that. And my friend Christopher, I appreciate him dropping a couple other scores that have come popping in here. And of course, how about this one, Mandarin over Bulls? I wish somebody would help me here. If they've got this, if they're listening, you're listening, watching, find me the last time that Bulls started the season 0-2. Find me the last time that Bulls started the season 0-2. Because it really, really, I will say this, you drop a close one against St. Augustine last week. Now you dropped a close one again this week to Mandarin. Mandarin if Mandarin was looking for a signature win this season, they've already got it 2 weeks into the season over Bowls. I give it to them. Now, Popka 14, West Orange 7. Again, I've talked to Dan LaForce too, who's a big part of football down in Central Florida, as the Popka alum. When I've talked to him about a Popka, when I've talked to other people about a Popka can win games low. Like, last week it was 2-0. This week, okay, 14 points. That's the thing about a Popka. Popka can win games on low margins, low scoring, and still make it to a state championship game. Of course, they would like to look for a first state championship win. They haven't had one in over a decade now. It's 2014, I'm trying to recall last time they won it. Yeah, 2014. That's what I'm thinking in my head right this second. I'll have to go back to the record book. But, but last time they won a state championship in 2014, and then we're looking at here, they've been here the last, 3 out of the last 4 years, they've been to the state championship game. And that's the thing. I think the thing for a Popka is this, and they've got to really find it, is that they've got to find a way to start scoring some more points. I mean, I would say, you don't have to find it right now here. You're 2 weeks into the season, but by the time you get to the playoffs, you've got to find ways to make sure you're having more points. I'd say, if you're going to find a way to win a state championship this year, you find yourself back in the Forum state championship game again, you really, really have to be able to put at least 24 to 28 points up on the board, because the opponent that's going to be facing a Popka on the other side, they're gonna have the ability to put points up. Be it a Columbus, be it a Palm Beach Central. They're throwing those two teams out, especially at Palm Beach, especially if it's a Palm Beach Central. You get a Palm Beach Central. Palm Beach Central knows how to throw points up on the board. So that's the big thing. That's the big thing right there. All right. So let's keep rolling here. And so let's see. Let's see what's going on here. We're not sure what's going on. We're being told that our feed is not live on YouTube for some reason. So we're going to check and see what's going on with that real quick here. Because it's thing, because we've had thing, and it's thing, and it's see if it's showing live. It's yep, and it is showing live there. So it is showing live. It's oh yeah, it's there we go. All right, we'll get that situated here in a moment here with the you thing. We're gonna actually post the YouTube link to Twitter, because for some reason I don't know what's going on, why with the configuration with Twitter. I'm pretty sure Philip Crutchfield, I appreciate you chiming in on the backside of this, because it tells me what I need to know on the other side, is that I bet anything Sutton tells me really seriously that all the changes that Elon Musk has made to X and Twitter is probably the big reason why it's not wanting to show live on our on the Twitter feed for some reason. So we're just going to go ahead and post that up right now. That way people can get to the live show on through YouTube. So of course, by the way, for any of y'all, I would click that subscribe button. If you're watching on YouTube, click that subscribe button, or if you're watching on Facebook, appreciate it as well. So again, the goal here is just kind of go through the scores and just kind of go through everything. And we're just going to do this, and we're just going to rock and roll here. And of course, I told you Niceville won over Milton 42-7. That is a final there. Of course, Niceville picking up a 2-0 on the season. So that's another thing right there. Let me go ahead and make sure. Oops. I hope if I had something else clicked up on my in the copy in the copy and paste here. All right. So yeah, that sometimes it's trying to just copy and paste, and because I'm gonna throw those scores out there real quick, and there we go. All right. I will tell you something. Let me see. Someone just asked me Treasure Coast 66, Jesuit 28. Let me see if I can verify that. Something tells me that may not be accurate, but let me pull that up here. Let me do a thing, because I can definitely check and see what's going on with that one. Jesuit and Treasure Coast. Let me see if we got any updates on that one. And actually, from what is being reported, it is 66-28. That's what Jesuit has reported on Twitter feed on their football account. So, Jonathan, I can confirm that that is a score. That is a 66-28. That is a final there for Treasure Coast over Jesuit. So, yeah. So, and it's really interesting. Treasure Coast didn't lose any practice time this past during the week because of Hurricane Idalia. Jesuit did lose 2 days of practice. So I don't know if that could be was this an off week for Jesuit, or is it just Treasure Coast is starting to flex a muscle here after going 4-7 last year, and this is going to be a big year for the Titans at Treasure Coast. That's what we're going to find out here over the next few weeks. Of course, usually the rule of thumb in terms of high school football, usually it takes about 3 to 4 weeks before we really start to know what is really going on with teams. Like, we really start to figure out and understand what teams are about. So usually, get 3-4 weeks in, we're kind of we can start to get that separation there, especially around then we get the weeks 5 and 6. That's where the separation starts to happen, because that's when it's really actually district play. Those are the big weeks there after weeks 5 and 6. Usually district play, the teams are gonna we're starting to separate, who are the contenders from the pretenders, basically, and that's where we're gonna go with and see what happens there. But Treasure Coast 66, Jesuit 28. That's a final there, and good for the Titans there. That's another big victory right there. That's another key win after beating Kissimmee Osceola last week. This week it was Tampa Jesuit. I believe, if my recollection, without really pulling it up here for the moment, I want to say Treasure Coast is at St. Thomas Aquinas next week, which let me just go ahead and pull that up now, because I want to say that is the case, and I'm going to see if that's, I'm just working through here. Let's see if I can find it. Let's see. I'm just waiting for it to call up here because it's got so much in schedules. I play Seminole. Okay. So Treasure Coast Seminole. Thank you, Robert. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And then, of course, I know that Treasure Coast has got St. Thomas Aquinas. Maybe that's week 4. That's what I'm trying to pull up here. So that, because Treasure Coast's schedule is just that's another team that really, really has a tough schedule. So, and it's really, really okay. So Seminole. Okay, so here we go. Seminole next week, Martin County to open up district play, and then St. Thomas Aquinas week 5, and then they got Cocoa week 6. So, your first 6 weeks are just gauntlet, really. Osceola gauntlet, Jesuit gauntlet, Sanford Seminole gauntlet. Martin County opens up the district. Martin County, they were a playoff team last year, 8 wins. Martin County, I'll tell you this. That I will say Treasure Coast is probably going to be one team that that's probably going to be an easier win for Treasure Coast come week 4. St. Thomas Aquinas, week 5. I want to that game, by the time they get there to that game, if Treasure Coast is 3-1 or 4-0 going to that game, and they have figured out what really works best for them, could they give St. Thomas Aquinas a challenge? I say potentially yes, but we don't. But we know that at the same time, St. Thomas Aquinas, a lot of Division I athletes. So it's just a matter of, what Coach Jones there at Treasure Coast has. Does he have the best game plan, planned for being able to beat St. Thomas Aquinas? We'll see. Keep in mind, week 5, a few weeks from now, we'll be talking about that game. We'll see what happens there between Treasure Coast and St. Thomas Aquinas. Again, week 5. All right, I'm going to bring down the lower third for right this second because some of the games we're trying to get coming in here. So we're going to bring that down in this thing. But again, we're going to go through some of these scores. We're going to make sure these scores are accurate as possible here because that's the most important thing here that we want to do here. And we're just going to kind of go region by region here. We're kind of looking at some scores here, kind of verifying here. All right, Holmes County, we're out in the Panhandle right this second. So that's where we're kind of looking at Panhandle, Holmes County 44, North Bay Haven 14 here, kind of looking at some other scores here. Let's see. Choctaw, I was stunned last week when they lost. Like, just totally just got, blown out by Pace. But this week they get they come back and they win 33-13 over Fairhope out of Alabama. So Choctaw 1-1 on the season. So they must have took the lessons from the big loss last week, the Pace, and put all that into their frustrations and taking it out on Fairhope and coming out with the victory tonight. And of course, that is huge right there for Frank Beasley's Fighting Indians there. So we'll mark that here. So again, we're just kind of going through the scores here. Again, Choctaw 33, Fairhope out of Alabama 13. And we're just kind of this thing again. We're just kind of marking some of the score final here. So this kind of thing, and then Philip Crutchfield. Yes, and we'll get to some of those Marion Alachua County scores here in a moment here, and of course, kind of type this out here as we're typing here. Let me actually kind of look here. Let me see. Let me look at something here first. The game hasn't gone, Philip. I'm going to give you one here. I'm going to give you one here in a moment, and I'll go over the Alachua. I'll go over to North Central Florida here. How about your Crestview Bulldogs, 35-21 over there? All right, now over Gulf Breeze, and I'll tell you. I found this on the web. Okay, Surrey. I don't know why my Surrey is just won't talk to me like the way it is. So he wants to talk to me. Yeah, Niceville 42-7 over Milton. We did talk about that one just a few minutes ago. Appreciate it, Joe, popping in here, of course. And then, of course, for Philip Crutchfield, we're going to bring this one up here in a moment here. We're going to go into North Central Florida. Let me go ahead and just call it up here on my side of the thing, of the screen here, and we're going to go into that here. And actually, we do have some scores that have come in here, and I'm going to verify this one here real quick just to make sure that it's actually accurate. That's Williston and First Coast. That game, Williston and First Coast, last night. That one actually kind of came on the schedule actually yesterday, and trying to verify if thing. Yep, and it is a final. Williston 53, First Coast 36. Barn burner in Jacksonville tonight. So Williston not too far outside of Gainesville here, and of course now Williston 2-0 on the season here. So we're going to mark that and kind of mark this here, and then we're going thing, and that Clearwater Central Catholic beats Trinity Catholic 35-10 tonight. Trinity Catholic, they had a COVID-19 outbreak last week on the team, so this is their first game of the season, and not the way the Celtics wanted to start the season by any means. And of course, now they've got to regroup and get ready for next week. But Clearwater Central Catholic now 2-0 on the season. All right. 8-man football score. Okay, yes, I do. We do touch on 8-man football here. And Ocala Christian 74, St. John Lutheran nothing. So, yes, we do touch a little bit of 8-man football here. And, of course, the Sunshine State Athletic Association. I still find myself typing out Sunshine State Athletic Conference or Sunshine State or just SSAC, but it's SSAA now. So, but Ocala Christian 74, St. John Lutheran nothing in the 8-man scores, and just trying to, oops. There we go. How about this one? Corey Davis. And we include Putnam County over in the North Central Florida the scoreboard just because to show them more love. Of course, they play a lot more teams from this region. But Corey Davis did report that Palaca beat Port Orange Atlantic 19-14. So that is a final there. Palaca came back, was down 13-14, I believe, from what I saw on his Twitter, and of course, Palaca is now 2-0 on the season. And we're going to just type it here in here. All right. Okay, we have one. Leon was here at Gainesville tonight. Leon wins 21-0 over the Purple Hurricanes. So that's Leon now 2-0 on the year. The thing about Leon, I know this is going over into the Big Bend by talking about Leon, but I want to bring this up because Leon upset North Florida Christian last week. And now Leon has won here again, 21-0. I think Leon was 1-9 last year. So Leon 2-0 on the season. That's pretty huge right there for Tyrone McGrath ball club there. Looking to rebound and rebuild a program that has been actually one of the storied programs in the whole entire state of Florida, the oldest program in the state of Florida, Leon Lions there, and and they're trying to find a way back to the top, and they're slowly working on it. Leon 21, Gainesville nothing. That's a final score there tonight. Eastside 35-0 over Keystone Heights. Eastside is now 2-0 on the season. Beat Inland Grove last week, and now this week it's Keystone Heights that suffers the misery of the Rams, and so that's huge right there. Eastside, under Gator Hoskins, and now they're looking for another winning season. So 2 years in a row, maybe 2 years in a row, get a winning season. Look for another playoff appearance. Actually, for Eastside, they're looking for another district championship. And what we saw last week out of North Marion, which is in part of their district, Forest just totally obliterated North Marion. So right now, there's a lot favoring Eastside, and we're going to see what's going to happen there. So, and of course, we'll kind of keep an eye on the Rams here and see what happens here as we move forward during the season. I'm going to try to verify this one here. And this is Crescent City and Umatilla. It shows that Crescent City has won 28-0 over Umatilla, but I'm going to check here and see what's going on here. See what's going on here and kind of get this out there for everybody here and see what's up and all that. So give me 1 second here. And I think I just got a notification. I actually got two people have sent some messages here on the just reactions on the message board. Wanted to pop over to the message board real quick and kind of check there, see what was going on there because I gotten a notification. Trying to check this Crescent City Umatilla score. This one, so to kind of explain just a little bit out, but a thing that here with everybody. What I'm seeing on the backside is that I can see I'm on the back end of Score Stream. So what I'm seeing is I'm seeing the scores. I can see everything in real time, but it gives me a confidence grade, and it gives me a confidence grade of how confident the score is accurate. And this is why I'm kind of concerned about the Crescent City Umatilla score because it's a very low confidence. So there's several ways I can check this, and I'm going to kind of tap into the resources here that I want to see what's going on here. So let me see if I can find anything regarding that. And that's the big thing is that it's really trying to just verify these scores. That's the huge thing. And let's see if I can see if the Orlando Sentinel, because Umatilla is in Orlando Sentinel's coverage area. I might be able to find something there just to verify this because for some reason there's this one I just don't trust here. This one I don't trust here on the score on the confidence grade. Now there's some other things I can check. I can kind of check to see, just where people are, if they were actually at the game. There's ways to check that. There's a ways to, because of through posts they've made on through Score Stream, kind of checking that. But I just want to make sure that what we're reporting is accurate. Accuracy is one of my things. Okay. So it is official. It's a final score. It's verified. It's 28-0. Yeah, Crescent City over Umatilla. That's a final there, and we'll get that one out here in just a moment. Here as we're posting these. I, let me get this typed out here real quick. 0. All right, so there we go on that one. Okay, let's see if I can verify. Let's take a look at this here real quick. It's another 8-man score. Let's see if we can verify that. Geneva Classical. Yep, it is a final. So Geneva Classical, who's in their first year of 8-man football, has, and of course, Cornerstone, who's going, I believe, in their second year of 8-man football, has Geneva Classical out of Lakeland, has beaten Cornerstone 14-12. So that's a final there. Actually, excuse me, I want to correct myself. Cornerstone's new in 8-man football. They're not part of the SSAC. So, anything. So we're going to look at that. But if y'all got any questions for me, you got any wondering about any scores, pop it into the chat box. I can see a thing, just pop into the chat. I will look at it and take a look at it and see if you got any question. And I will definitely look at a thing because I can see a chat box. So I pull up in here and I can just see what y'all are typing to me and I can answer any questions. I'll bring it up here on the screen. This is live. This is live and I don't have any blooper out reels on that one. So I'll have to go through that one later, but yeah, definitely pop your questions in, ask, and we will definitely answer any questions you've got, any for any scores or anything else that you've got here around the Sunshine State in terms of week 2 football and everything like that. So definitely some games to worth note. So let's go ahead and pop this one in real quick here. How about this one? How about this one? Ocall 34, Bishop Snyder 13. Ocall 2-0 on the season. RJ Furious program doing really, really well. And, I number one in terms of all the 11-man teams in the Sunshine State Athletic Association, 11-man football teams. And they're the favorite to win the SSAA, state championship this year. So we will definitely see what happens there with Ocall, but definitely the favorite here to win a title this year and everything. But yes, so if you got any other questions, just go ahead and pop it in the comments. If you're watching on YouTube or on Facebook, go ahead and just pop those comments in. I can pop them in. For Chris, that is a good question. Do we have a St. Thomas Aquinas score? Let me go ahead and check and see what we've got going on here with that game, because that's important. That's a big game right there. Especially after losing last week. Let's see what we got here. Here we go. St. Thomas Aquinas 49, Fort Myers nothing. That is a final there. And let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and check on Sanford's. Let's go ahead and check on. It's Seminole here. Checking here. I did see something that Seminole won. Let me get the. Oops. There we go. Hold on. All right, Don Garrett give us a 31-6. That's the score right there. Sanford Seminole over Kissimmee Osceola 31-6. That's your final there on that one. But Emery Smith, great longtime follower here of the website here down there in Hardy County, just posted this to us in here, and he's posted and letting us know that the looks like the Hardy Frostproof game is being rescheduled tomorrow at 6, maybe someone can confirm that, maybe potentially. So again, weather has been a factor tonight in some parts of the site. So we're going to find out there what's kind of going on. So just kind of keep an update here, and we'll appreciate everybody joining us here and everything. But, it's been a real interesting week 2 here. Of course, again, thoughts and prayers to those that have been impacted by Hurricane Irma, Idalia, not Irma. There's been too many ice storms that have hit the state of Florida lately over the last 5-6 years. It's been Irma, Idalia. I mean, this is definitely one of those things. But if anybody can help Emory, maybe hopefully we can find out and kind of see what's going on. We'll kind of find out what's going on there with that particular game with Hardy and Frostproof. See if they're going to reschedule for tomorrow at 6. So maybe hopefully we can kind of find out here what's going on here. Maybe we can find out kind of what's going on here with that. But anyways, let's keep it rolling with the scores here because there's definitely some more scores here that we, from the North Central Florida region, and kind of keep an eye on what's going on around the rest of the state as well. Let's see. Okay, let's see if I can verify this one real quick. I believe it's right on the point. And yep, definitely can verify this one. Santa Fe drops to 0-2. They lose to Lanier County out of Georgia 33-3. That is the final score there. And how about this one? Vanguard 35, Lake Mineola 21. Lake Mineola drops to 0-2 on the season. Vanguard now 2-0 on the year. So and we're kind of looking at that right there, kind of just looking at these scores here as they come in. Again, this is kind of informal. It's not like a full official scoreboard show or anything. We're just kind of talking scores, kind of just talking with y'all, the fans out there, what's going on around the Sunshine State. We definitely appreciate you tuning in just to kind of chat it. This is more of an open chat, basically. We're talking football. We're kind of getting some stuff here, and we're just kind of doing that here as long as we're posting scores here along the way here. So, taking a look at some other scores right now here that have gone final. Hawthorne 40, Newberry 10. That's a final there. The Hornets rolling there over the Panthers. Newberry, who put up over 60 points last week, this week could not translate that into the points against Hawthorne. And unfortunately, the Newberry Panthers fall to 1-1. Hawthorne goes to 2-0 on the season. So let's take a look at some other scores here. Let's see if that's all right. Let's see what we got here right now. Let's see. Let's see. Surprised this one has not gone final, but Buchholz is up 37-24 on Sarasota Riverview. And let's see a couple others here. What we got here. Let's see. Last check, it was Chiefland up 42-26 on Wildwood. Oh, wow. We just got a bunch of scores, just people coming down, and then some people popping in here. And no, we are going to. All right. Okay, here we go. Some scores that have come in. Christopher Like reports at Cocoa 31, Venice 24. We did have that one. Ponte Vedra pulls off the upset on Florida High 23-22. That's a final out there from Tallahassee, as Ponte Vedra went on the road and picks up a big, huge road victory over Florida High. And Charles Bell from Lakeland reports North Miami wins 20. Actually, let me go bring that thing. Okay, wait a second. North Miami and Lake Gibson tied 20 all in the fourth quarter. And that's an interesting one right there, because Lake Gibson won last week over East Lake. But North Miami has come to play against Lake Gibson. And if that score holds, that's going to be going to some free football out there, down there along the I-4 corridor. Philip Crutchfield asked if there's any big upsets in the Panhandle. I have not really seen any big upsets out in the Panhandle just yet, but that doesn't mean there might not be any. But let's go to the Panhandle. Let's see what we got here right now and take a look here. Actually, let me put it this way. This might be the big upset. This one might be the big upset of the week for the Panhandle. Destin 21, Baker 19. I wouldn't. I'll go to that comment here in a moment. But going out to the Panhandle, it's Destin 21, Baker 19. That one. Tell you what. Destin 2-0. Baker 0-2. You told me that Baker would have been 0-2 and Destin would have been 2-0 coming, after 2 weeks into the season. I would have probably not. I probably would not. I probably would have taken a pass on that. I wouldn't have bought in. But here we are. Baker. Remember, this is the Baker Gators. Baker Gators who won the state championship in 1A, which is now 1R in 2020. Now, 2 years later. If Baker can't beat Destin, I'm kind of wondering, is this going to be a season they miss the playoffs for the first time in years? That's what I'm wondering. And Baker doesn't have those that talent that has been there over the last few years. They just don't have it this year. So that's another thing right there that that's I would say keep an eye on Destin. Destin's independent, by the way. Destin won't make the playoffs this year, regardless of the record. Now next year, I expect to see Destin in a district. So yep, and pull that up. No Coach Brunson Baker. That you're right about that, Philip. You're definitely right on about that one. And I will say this, it's tough when you don't have Coach Brunson, who's over the state line now in Alabama, at Alabama. So that's where Coach Brunson is at now. And go back to go to Charles Bell here on his comment here. He says that I thought the Cocoa upsetting Venice was huge. I disagree on that, because the thing is, I would say the big upset would have been Armwood over Venice last week, not Cocoa beating Venice. And I say that because it's no one expected Armwood to go in and beat Venice the way they did. And now, it's like you come into Cocoa and you're thinking, Cocoa only won by 2 last week, 2020, 22-20. I'm trying to get it out of my mouth. I'll get it out of my mouth correctly in a moment. 22-20 last week against Jones, and I think it's Venice is trying to look for the identity here in a little bit of a ways. I think and they're trying to look after being the state championship game for 2 straight years coming out of this 1-1 and of the state championship games, but now I just don't see Cocoa beating Venice as a huge upset. I just don't. It's not one of those ones. It's a huge upset. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Let me go to the thing. This is again, it's subscriber content. It's worth paying at least $10 per month. It's also got $50 a year, $90, $50 for 6 months, and $90 for a year. The MVP content, and I'm going to go pull this up. I'm going to tell you one line, and that's from the Power Rankings Index forecast. And because the Power Rankings Index forecast had this, and this is what I really just we're going to go on this one right here. Forecast called Cocoa a 1-point favorite over Venice. Yeah. Cocoa a 1-point favorite over Venice. That was the forecast this week. And I'm only giving you that one. If y'all wanted to see the rest of the forecast, you got to sign up and subscribe. But I'm going to that one in particular. Just for that one. Because that's why I don't call that an upset. That's how close these teams were in each other. So, there's that. All right. So Charles Bell brings up about Lakeland here. Lakeland 28, Largo nothing. Lakeland does, play St. Joe's Prep next week out of Pennsylvania. So I'll say this: Lakeland has to win that game. Lakeland has to win that game. They want to make a statement. They have to win that game. They've got to win that game. This losing to Norland hurt last week. You have got to win against St. Joseph Prep to basically rebound the season and get more back into the national attention in the state. And there's no other way to say what's got to happen. That's what's got to happen. They just literally have to go out and win. They got to go out and win. So that. How about this one? Actually, I'm gonna verify this, but I believe this is actually Patrick Bernardo out there at the Pensacola News Journal. I want to check this and see. Yep, it is a final. How about this one? Pensacola Catholic 13, Escambia 12. Woo-hoo-hoo. That was a close one. That was a close one. Pensacola Catholic 13, Escambia 12. How about that? I want to check on this Mosley score, see if we get anything from Mosley here. See if we can't. See if we can get anything from Mosley and Bay here reported. See, I'm trying to find out what's going on here. Okay, see if we can find anything. So absolutely trying to see if we can find anything with this Panhandle score, because this is kind of like trying to figure out what's going on here, because sometimes these scores are just that they're definitely not as easy to find in terms of trying to figure out where they're at and why we're not getting a report. I say it hurt Lakeland because you're coming off a state championship victory. You're coming off a state championship season. I think that hurt a little bit because you want to make a statement coming out of the gate. It's not a bad loss to lose to Miami Norland. It's just that Miami Norland the thing is can Miami Norland beat Miami Central? Can they figure out a way to crack the code against Miami Central? We got to remember Miami Central is going for 5 this year. St. Thomas Aquinas is doing the same thing. No team in the Sunshine State has ever won 5 straight state championships. No team has ever done that. Do I feel this will be the year that it finally happens? Yes. I believe this year will finally happen. Will it be Miami Central? I don't know. But will it be St. Thomas Aquinas? I think more than definite not it's St. Thomas Aquinas. Miami Central, I have the question mark on just because what we saw out of Miami Norland last week, that was huge. That was huge. Do they have the ingredients there to beat Miami Central to come out of that Region 4 in Class 2M? That's the big question. Do they have it? Do they have it there? That's what we've got to find out. But I will say this. For Lakeland, the biggest thing, it hurts. What hurts Lakeland is more in the rankings than anything else. That's it. That's what hurts them most in the thing. It's the rankings. So, all right. Okay. And Philip Crutchfield just confirmed Mosley's leading Bay 56-6 late in the fourth quarter. So we'll see what's going to happen there on that one as well. But looking at everything here, let's take a look at here, something here. Let's look at some couple other things. Let's try to look at some other scores here that we've got coming in. Lake Wales 40-6 over Ridge Community. That's Lake Wales was number 15 in our Florida top 25. Jones tonight lost to Our Lady of Good Counsel out of Maryland, 40-14. Edgewater edges out Clearwater Academy International, 15-14. Wow. I mean, wow. Clearwater Academy International. Last week they were up 21-0 on Columbus, lost that game 28-21. This week it's a 15-14 decision right there against Edgewater. I mean, that's about as tough of a game as you can get right there. I mean, that's about as tough as you can get in terms of that. And all right, Chiefland 50-32 over Wildwood. There you go, right there, Chiefland. And it's interesting. I mean, I'm glad to see Chiefland get out there on the field and play. Considering that Chiefland's not right there along the coast, at least they didn't. It seems like they didn't suffer as much effect in terms of flooding and all that, in terms of from Hurricane Idalia. So, but they were able to go out there and play Wildwood tonight, and that's good for them there, for the Indians to pick up a win after getting blasted last week by Williston. So. I got some requests from some scores on a text message here for scores coming out of the a couple of scores from the out of state games. But actually, you know what? Let's go to something here. Let's take a look here at a couple other scores that you know what? Have we gotten any updates yet? Let me see if I can go find this one here. See if I can see if anything has popped up yet. Huh. Let me see if I can find anything what's going on with Miami Central, because I'm curious, because the game started at 10 o'clock Eastern time here. Should have already had some score updates already for that. So let's see if I can find anything here. Golden Gate 42, Immokalee 10, Naples 36, Dillon 19, Manatee 27, Sarasota 14. Those are all finals there. Appreciate Christopher jumping in on those as well. Let me see if I can find anything with Miami Central here. Let's see what we can find here. Miami Central. Let's see what's going on. Miami Central and Gorman. Let's see if we can find. Yeah. If this is accurate, I mean. Yeah, now, okay, so 8:30 start, which would be, it's 11:30, 10:30. Because they're on Pacific time. I believe they're 3 hours. So right now, so the game is not even started in Las Vegas. It was supposed to start 10 o'clock our time here. I mean, this could be the most ironic thing ever, or whatever you want to put to it here. Thunderstorms in Las Vegas. Yes, a lightning delay in Las Vegas. There you go. There you go. There you go. Clewiston at Sebring canceled tonight because of weather. Let me see if I can find out. See if any plans for a makeup. Always hate when a game gets canceled because of weather, so not always fun there, but we'll find out there and all that. So let's see. Archbishop McCarthy, 48, North Broward Prep 21. Archbishop McCarthy is now 2-0. Archbishop McCarthy's been struggling for a while. The Mavericks 2-0 on the season. That's pretty good for them. So, all right, let's hit back to the scores here. Let's just kind of focus on some scores here. I'm going to kind of drift it back to the scores here. I'll kind of keep a check on the chat feed here, but we're going to verify scores here as they come in. We need to make sure that these scores are verified to get that situated and verify these scores. Jonathan Ferris, if you're still watching, Lincoln 21, pace 7, that's a final there. That score has come in now. How about this? Fort Walton Beach beat South Bolton 28-13. I mean, Fort Walton Beach, who got blasted last week in their season opener, and this week they have put it together and put a win on the record here. So that's huge for them. I know Franklin Park's watching us here, and Franklin, yeah, definitely, it's good to see. It's good to see them for Archbishop McCarthy. Definitely a good victory there for them, 2-0, and good to see them finding a way to win games now, and hopefully that'll be a start of a trend of success for Archbishop McCarthy, and hopefully maybe eventually that will work, allow them to eventually go from being independent back into to a district here. So we'll see what happens here over the course of the season. And of course, I should bring up reclassification. We're in year 2 of the Metro Suburban deal. We don't know if this is going to survive or not. I can tell you this, the FHA is having a classification committee. They are talking about things. So just keep this in mind. We are coming up on a classification recycle here, a reclassification, I should say, coming up here. Football will be the first sport to go. That'll come right around Christmas time, from my understanding. So we'll get new football districts, new football classifications right around Christmas time this year. So for the 2024 and 2025 school year. So remember now that our reclassification cycles are now on the new cycles start on even years, not odd years anymore. And we can thank the COVID-19 for helping us out of there a little bit of that one. So that did kind of help us get in line more with teams, with other states around the country, especially our neighbors, Florida, to the north in Georgia and Alabama, who are on the same. We're now lined up on the same scheduling cycle as they are. So Philip Cuttrell reports J 20-14 over Freeport. So there's that score right there. Appreciate you, Philip, dropping in there. And kind of looking around here and post that one here on. The big thing is just making sure these scores are accurate. So Chipley 34, Geneva 13. Got that one. Geneva, Alabama, I should say. Fix this here real quick on my microphone. I don't know why I've got a buzz there, but hopefully that'll solve it. So Chipley 34, Geneva out of Alabama 13. That's the final there. Let's go ahead and put that out there. So I post these scores. There's a reason why the scores get posted to Twitter individually, because once they get posted, we go ahead and mark it final and score stream. We post it on a thing. That way it locks it down and it gives it the highest confidence grade possible. That way we've verified the score. The score's been verified, all that, no issue. West Florida 30, Booker T. Washington out of Pensacola 14. That's a final there. Pine Forest, a big winner over Navarre tonight, 40-17. Navarre now 0-2 on the season after they lost an overtime last week to Pensacola Catholic. Now Pine Forest 2-0 on the season. Navarre's 0-2. So Navarre's probably having to figure out which way they're going to go this season. I mean, Navarre still make the playoffs, yes. I mean, but they've got to win some games here. So. And actually, Christopher liked just about Louisiana, reclassifying on odd years. Here in Florida, it was odd years until COVID kind of hit, and now we're back to now we're finally we did a 1 year reclassification in the 21-22 school year, and that 1 year reclassification kind of allowed everything to things got settled out from COVID-19, and then of course now 2022 brought a whole new classification cycle with starting with football, and then of course this year we're in the middle of that cycle now, and now of course we're getting ready for another reclassification cycle here coming up with the 2024-2025 school year, and that's huge right there because it's nice again to be able to be on that same cycle with like Alabama, Georgia, Texas. I mean, we're lined up with most of the country now. Being on odd years, we were definitely one of those oddball states. But now we are with everybody else, and I've been like saying we just needed to figure out how can we get to being on the same cycle as the majority of the country. And well, I mean, unfortunately it took a pandemic for us to kind of get to that, but here we are. So it's great to have that here as we roll along. All right, so kind of roll these scores here, trying to check more scores, make sure I've got everything. Crestview 35, Gulf Breeze 21. That is a final. So Crestview 35, Gulf Breeze 21. That's a final there. If you don't have any questions or comments, you just want to go ahead and pop it in the chat either between YouTube or Facebook. We were trying to stream this out on Twitter or X, but I can tell you this right now, it's one of those things that we're going to have to figure out what's going on with Elon Musk's platform, because it did not want to go right. It tweeted it out, I know that, but it doesn't want to show it live anymore. So I don't know if there's something that has changed. So we'll try to figure that out as we go along here. So all that. All right, so those are some of the scores right this second. Let me go over into the Big Bend and see what we got score-wise here. University Christian 56, North Florida Christian 23. That's a final there. This one, let me see. Chris Anderson, good question. Good question coming over from the YouTube side. Chris Anderson's got a question, and left field question. It's actually, this is something that I want to go ahead and promote. We're having the Blitz here on 8 to 10 on Tuesday night. Join myself and Marty Paulman. We'll be live here on our Facebook, YouTube, and hopefully we'll get the thing figured out with Twitter and the connection there on those channels here. And we'll be doing that here on Tuesday night. And actually, I'm glad you bring this question up, as this is a discussion that me and Marty will have about what's coming up. But the short answer is Tallahassee. The long answer is nothing set in stone. So at this point, the short answer is Tallahassee, from my understanding. The long answer is nothing set in stone, really. It's a question, and it's probably more of a let's have a discussion about that, and we'll do that on the Blitz on Tuesday night, and we'll talk more about that one then. So, all right. Yeah, no, absolutely. I've seen the. No, that's good. That's good. The YouTube chat. I'm looking at that thing, but. So definitely, absolutely. Yeah, there people are commenting, and I appreciate. I will tell y'all this. So if y'all comment on Facebook on the live stream, or you comment on YouTube, whatever comments that you're seeing in the live chat, those pop up here on our screen here. So we see those. That's why I'm able to bring those comments in there and be able to bring that in and the thing. And so anyway, we're able to do that. Philip Crutchfield over there on Facebook, he asked us about an opinion on some first-year coaches that are having an early success after week 2. Ooh, man, that's a boy. You really throw me the question out of left field, Philip. You really throw me the question out of left field there on that one. That is a good question. And I can't really answer it right this second because I really need to kind of digest all the scores from this. We can kind of see. Actually, you know what? No, I've got one as a first-year head coach. Carl Calhoun over at Sanford Seminole, 2-0 already on the season. I got to put that one. Carl Calhoun. That's one right there. I can go off the top of my list right there. Carl Calhoun over at Sanford Seminole. But I will say this about Coach Calhoun is that Coach Calhoun, he's been there as assistant a long time there at Sanford Seminole. So this is kind of a natural progression for him to transition into being the head coach there. And it's working out so far really good. And then, of course, you have to bring up Willie Jackson, Philip. You have to bring up Willie Jackson. That's great. Of course, it's great because I actually glad you say that because, you know, PK Yonge, they were coming into the summer not knowing if they were going to. They were going into spring football not knowing if they were going to have a football program. Period, because some of the admissions at PK Yonge have changed, so they have gotten like even tougher on their admissions acceptance there at PK Yonge. So that affects not only just with the academic side, but also affects the athletics because. And when it comes to the academics when they're really putting a bigger stress on that side of things, you know, with the academics, it makes it hard sometimes for the athletics and you're not always getting necessarily the numbers for the football players. So that's huge right there. So that's huge. So definitely there for PK Yonge. Definitely. I'd say that's good. That's awesome for PK Yonge. Getting off of the season start of 2-0, that's huge right there for them. But I know in a couple weeks time, I don't know if it's in the next. I think it's in the next couple weeks. I know PK Yonge for sure will have a big challenge against Hawthorne because I know that is on the schedule, and I know that is going to be tough for PK Yonge to win that game. But if they, by the grace of God or whatever religion you are, my thing is this. If PK Yonge was to find a way to upset Hawthorne, that would be huge. So, just saying. So. Let me see what we got here, because my understanding is I'm trying to find out what's. My understanding is that I got a few questions here that apparently are not popping up here. So let's see what we've got here. I will find out right now. Let me see if I got these. Let me see what's going on here. Let me see if I can answer these questions. Let me see if I can get. Hold on 1 second. Let me see if I can find the answers, because this is the important thing, is getting the answer on this one, because some people have asked some questions and I'm trying to get an answer on that one. Give me 1 second, everybody, because this is a little frustrating that when we don't have these have these things popping up. And let's try to see if I can get them to pop up here, because they're not showing on my end for some reason. Some of the comments are coming through, but some of them are not, apparently. And that tells us what we need to figure out how to do that. But I'm trying to figure out this. Why is it not popping up? Some have asked about Alachua and Marion County. We did go through some of the scores earlier But let me pop up some of those just to answer the question there for some people there on that one, so we can answer the question, even though it's not showing up on my end for some strange reason. So let me see. Go over here and take a look here. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. And of course, as we mentioned, Chiefland 50, Wildwood 32, and Oak Hall 34, Bishop Snyder 13. Now, I do know someone probably, if they're wondering about Weewa Hitchcock Bell, that game did get postponed. I don't know when they're going to reschedule it. That did get postponed because of Hurricane Idalia. So they did postpone the game. So we're just going to find out. I'm going to go ahead and mark that situated here, get that situated in the system. So, but it is postponed. But if you got some scores here that y'all got questions on scores that you're looking for, let me know. Just go ahead and pop that up, and we'll see if it pops up here in the chat stream. So everything. It showed across YouTube from. Yeah. So let me see if it pops up here on the YouTube side. So because I should be able to see. That's strange. So that's strange. Oh, no. I did pop it up early. Yeah, I got it's Philip's. It's Philip's question. I did pop it up actually, so I did answer him. You're welcome. I appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, that was my partner just popping into the office. Oh, man. All right. Let's see. So Homestead 35, South Dade nothing, Blanche Ely 42-13 over Cypress Bay, Santa Lucia's 13-7 over Boynton Beach. Of those scores right there, I pop up the thing. Santa Lucia's, that one, I thought Boynton Beach was going to win. Even the forecast called for Boynton Beach to win, and of course Santa Lucia's. Wow. I mean, 13-7. Boynton Beach is pretty good for them only being 13-7. I mean, they did. Santa Lucia's thumped Pahokee last week, so. And that leaves a lot there to be the desire to figure out what's between the scores from last week and this week for Santa Lucia's. What are we going to make of the Santa Lucia's Chiefs? That's what I'm going to have to figure out here. Here we go. Philip Crutchfield and everybody else. I got your score here. Buchholz 53, Sarasota Riverview 31. Buchholz 2-0 under Chuck Bell. Chuck Bell, the new head coach there at Buchholz, longtime assistant under Mark Whittemore, but now Chuck Bell running the show there. And Buchholz 2-0 on the year. So Buchholz, not skipping a beat there. So, and of course, they've had some transfers come in, talent as well. Miles Graham being the biggest pickup in terms of transfers coming into Buchholz during the offseason. And sure enough, it's paying off right there for the Bobcats here as we go running along here. So, all right. We're about an hour 20 into this thing. We're just kind of, this is kind of like an informal. We kind of have a discussion. We kind of just do a chat here. Definitely appreciate Philip Crutchfield and his support here. And of course, no two of us are exactly alike. That's why you need a financial advisor with the freedom to focus on the details that make your life your own, your family, the challenges you face, the dreams that inspire you, whatever your goals, you need an advisor who can create a plan uniquely tailored to you, all backed by the sophisticated resources of Raymond James. That's life well planned. To learn more, call financial advisor Philip Crutchfield at 352-642-8330. Raymond James and Associates, INC, member New York Stock Exchange, SIPC. So there is that right there. Let's see what else we got going on here. See if we got anything Miami-Dade. So. Score from this afternoon. Hialeah Gardens 14-0 over Reagan. Actually. Actually, I bring this question up. Phil Crutchfield asked, Marion County seems down outside of Trinity Catholic and Vanguard. I definitely agree with you, Ben. You know what? I'd say this. Okay, there's like a pecking order of thing. It's Trinity Catholic, Vanguard, probably a 1A and a 1B type situation there between the two best teams there in Marion County. I would say the third best team there right now in Marion County might actually be Ocala Forest. So there's that. Latest update. How about this one? Lake Gibson 26, North Miami 26 in overtime. Again, you're wondering why is the game still being played at 11:30 at night? Well, thunderstorms. Thunderstorms came across the state. I know. 2 days after we have a hurricane rip through, thunderstorms decided to. But it's that time of year. It's that time of year. High school football and Mother Nature. It seems like Mother Nature. Hey, I'll say this. At least it looks like Mother Nature did not wipe most of our games off the map tonight. Maybe a few, but we're okay. We're okay. But I want to check something here with the Hialeah Gardens score here as we get things. So, but if y'all got any other comments, questions, looking for any other scores, just go ahead and hit reply in the chat between YouTube or Facebook, and we'll respond here. So appreciate everybody dropping their comments in and everything. So, but we're just going to verify some scores here, make sure. Yep, Hialeah Gardens 14, Reagan nothing. So, and they're in down there from Miami-Dade County. So that is a final there. So let's see if we got anything. Like I said, if you got any questions, pop it in that chat so that way I can take a look at it and we'll take it from there. Florida Christian 14, Aubrey Rogers, which by the way, there was two new public schools that opened this year. Aubrey Rogers over in Naples. And then there was Dr. Joaquin Garcia. We're short for Dr. Garcia on Lake Wharf. So Lake Wharf now has 3 high schools. So they got Dr. Garcia now that has opened up. But Aubrey Rogers in Naples is one of the new schools this year. And so if you see the word name, like who's this Aubrey Rogers? Well, this is a new school over in Naples. The North Naples, I should say. It's in the very north end of Collier County with the new school. So I got to bring this one up here. How about this one? Third overtime now for North Miami and Lake Gibson, 26-26, 3 overtimes. I mean, let's see. Our longest overtime was 9 in the state. I remember that one. I gotta go back because this I remember it being involving Clearwater Central Catholic. Yes, 2016. Melbourne Central Catholic versus Clearwater Central Catholic, a 69-62 game that went 9 overtimes. This is third. I don't know if they ever will touch this, but if they keep going, we'll have to see if this goes to 3. Well, actually, it's on 3, 4, 5, 6 overtimes. Yeah. I'm a little hesitant to address this question, but I'm going to address it. There is no free memberships for the MVP memberships on FloodHSFootball.com. There is no free memberships. And I say this clearly. We're a small business. We are not owned by a huge corporation. I bring this up because someone did ask. There's no free memberships. There's the content that we do every day that we put on 4hsfootball.com, the website. So the content that's under the MVP membership. A lot of that, there's a lot of hard work that goes into that. The reason why we charge a subscription fee is plain and clear. It's to help us keep doing what we do. There's nothing that we can give away. Give everything for free. We have to be a combination of between subscription and advertising. And that's how we survive. We're not owned by we're not a big corporation here. We are not a big thing. We're a small business. But we love this. Hi, Corey Davis. I see the comment. I'm not going to pop it up on the Facebook feed on the screen, but I see you there, Corey Davis. And Corey, Corey had a game tonight. Palatka at Port Orange Atlantic. 19-13 was the final score. And believe what I saw on Corey's Twitter feed earlier was that Palatka had to come back from behind and win that game. So Port Orange Atlantic seems to be much improved, but Palatka goes to 2-0 on the season. Talk about Port Orange Atlantic, though. It's ever so close. That 0-2 record could be 2-0 right now. So, but yep. As Corey says, I'll bring that comment up here on the side. Is this boring game but great ending? So sometimes they say they save the best for last, or maybe in the last minutes of a game, which is what they did there. So, and that's what they did. Yeah, that's right, Corey. You did mention that they lost both in the final minutes, and see that's the difference between for some teams. This doesn't apply for every team, but for some teams, it's a difference between the difference between being 2-0 and 0-2, and sometimes it's just the final minutes, and that's what happened here. So. Anyways, I'm kind of my voice is kind of getting a little bit hoarse. Maybe I got some water right here, but do need to bring a little water into this because we've been just kind of going here, talking to y'all. So it's 11:45 now. Well, it's 11:44 on the clock, but it might as well be 11:45. If y'all got any other comments, questions, anything that you want to ask, go ahead and pop that in. Let me answer those questions. Let me see what we can find here score wise. Let's get those scores situated here. We'll post those scores, get them posted here. And South Sumter 34-13 over North Miami Beach. So South Sumter gets a little bit of taste of Miami-Dade County, and they send North Miami Beach back home with a L. Gotta find out if they've gotten that Miami Central Gorman game going on. This is gonna be, of course, it's gonna be a long night. Let's see what happens here. Looks like they're getting started. It is raining in Las Vegas. That I can confirm. But some of the videos coming out of Las Vegas is that it is raining there. And they said they were hoping for an 8:30 kick, but let's see if I can find anything. Yeah, it's been nasty. It's nasty weather there. Providence 43, Interlaken 0 from Corey Davis there. By the way, Corey Davis, Palatka Daily News, assistant sports editor there. And, Interlaken was 10-0 last year, Corey. And this year they're 0-2 starting out. Very, very, very much interesting there. Charles, I want to say able to watch a Miami Central game. I want to say yes. I just yeah, looking at it. Hold on one second. I think I've got some information here on that one. Just trying to pull it up here real quick. Okay. Actually, no, I'm wrong. See, I don't understand. This is what's a head scratcher here, especially for this game. Why is this game not on ESPN? Like, honestly, why is this game not on ESPN? Like, these are two of the top teams in the country. And I just don't understand why it's not on ESPN, but the game is definitely late there starting. It's been raining, it's been pouring, it's been everything. So yeah. Yeah, Corey, we do have a final score on that one. The Crescent City game that was 28-0. Crescent City won over Umatilla. So that game was final there. So no surprises there on that one. But Corey, you know what? Let me. You know what? Hold on a second. Corey's off deadline. Let's see. NFHS Network right now with commentators, and got Josh in stereo. That's awesome. That's awesome. Let me see if I can bring Corey Davis on. Okay, you know what? Let me do this. Oh. No, we don't want to do that. Oh, there we go. I don't know what happened there, but let's see. Let's try to send this to Corey Davis. All right, so I'm trying to see. Hey, Corey, check your email for a link to join in. If I can get Corey to come on, we can do that. Not sure where all the Facebook comments just disappeared to. They were there, but they have disappeared on me. Not sure what has happened here because now the comments. Trying to see why all of a sudden the Facebook comments have disappeared here. So I'm gonna have to. I got to figure out the phone the thing. I've got the thing on the for the thing on the phone calls. So, but I'm gonna have to work to put that into this because it's a different platform. So than I used last year. So on some streaming things. So I got to figure that one out. So until I just want to make sure that it works perfectly. Not perfectly, but I'll be able to work and see how I can put the phone calls through like you usually do. So we'll see what work on that and make sure that actually works and stuff. But we'll do a test on that here over the weekend, work on testing that. But anyways, appreciate everybody watching here. And if you got any other questions here, let's see. And thing. Okay. Got it. Hello, Mike Rideout. Mike Rideout has popped on and joined and watching here. And Mike, if I know your game tonight, 35 was 35-0 or 38-0. East Side is East Side. Let me go pop it up. Let me see if I've actually got it right here in front of me. I don't. Not right this second, but Lake Gibson 29, North Miami 26 in the third overtime. Let's see if that score holds and that game ends right there. But appreciate Chris popping that score in for us here. A lot going on there. Still some games going on to the burning into the midnight oil, as they say. So. I believe Corey's driving back from the Palatka Port Orange game, potentially driving back. So, okay. All right. So taking a look at everything else, let's see. Ooh, Miami Southridge 27, Dr. Crop 22. Wait a second. Hold on.
I'll hold it.
Hold on. I hear Corey Davis. Corey Davis, you're live.
Hey, Josh.
We got Corey Davis in the house, people. He's on the way back. So Corey, just real quick, I tell you, I mean, a boring game that if I get exciting in the last few minutes, I mean, of course, I know. Huh?
I'm just leaving Port Orange as we speak. The box score and everything, and Palatka was up 30, and it appeared they go for a fake punt on their own 45 play before the quarterback got hurt. Well, the problem is the quarterback is also the punter. So they went for it on fourth down, trying to catch Atlantic off guard. Atlanta, and only having to go 45 yards, they go down the field and score easy. Atlantic goes up 14-13, and at that point, you're like, okay, game over. Atlantic's just going to run the clock out. Back, went down the field, and on fourth down, Palatka stuffed them.
Wow.
A minute and change left. No timeouts. They could not throw the ball all night. They complete a couple passes, get down on the 14-yard line with like 15 seconds left. Quarterback scores his third touchdown of the game on a 14-yard keeper. The defender head on as he's going to the goal line.
Wow.
And so he's able to cross the goal line. Palatka wins the game 19-14. I got a feel for Atlantic because this is the second straight week in the fourth quarter.
Man, you're talking about the difference between being, 0-2 and could be 2-0.
Yeah. I mean, they just can't finish. Had all the momentum. They pick up another first down. It's game over. But stop. And then, divine intervention. He offered, needed to get the big play. He scored. And I think he finished touchdowns 135 yards, I want to say. I mean, hey, you're 2-0. That's all that matters.
Yeah, that's it. That's all that matters for Palatka. They're 2-0 and on with the season they go.
Next,
and,
hopefully they can get by Santa Fe. Josh.
So, yeah, I mean, so I think if that's for Palaka, I mean, Santa Fe lost to Lanier County night 33-3. So I don't think Palaka should have too much trouble against Santa Fe next week, to be honest with you.
Well, I thought Palaka would go 7-0 to start the season. Of can this team stay focused, because they were 7-0 last year, and they overlooked Fernandina, and they lost, and that started a season.
Wow. So yeah, you're right. That is a valid point. Is can they keep their focus ahead? But and of course the biggest nemesis that they're going to have to worry about in their district is going to be Bradford, who went all the way to the state semifinals last year. So that'll be the team that they're going to have to beat if they want to win a district championship and secure a higher seeding into the playoffs than what they did last year. I believe that their seeding was, someone to say, 7th. So that's important to keep an eye on that, of course. And give it a few more weeks, and we'll probably start having FHA playoff power rankings, and we'll see what happens there with that.
I think the goal is minimum 8-2. 8-2 with potentially losses to Bradford, and I would think that at that point you potentially get a high seed, and
no, absolutely,
potentially could get a home playoff game. You can't to teams that you should be beating.
All right,
and that's why they had to go on the road, because they lost to Fernandina.
No, absolutely. Corey, how about this one? How about this one, Corey? Interlochen 0-2. They went 10-0 last year, and they have been shut out now here first 2 weeks of the season. Just totally shut out by Union County and Providence.
They lost 19 seniors last year, and on both sides of the ball. They're going through identity crisis right now. They can't decide if they can run the ball or pass the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw Union County didn't bother to even throw the ball hardly. They pound and pound. I think they ran the ball for like 40-something times.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, see that big of a score like that. And a loss to Fernandina last week. They lost, I think it was like 13-12.
Yeah,
they had
13-12.
Yeah, they had the lead in the fourth quarter to win. So I thought it was going to be a low scoring game with both teams doing offense. And I mean, our guy that covered the game said it was 30-0 the first quarter.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's hard to dig out of a hole when you're down 30-0 in the first.
Right.
I mean, and as I last I heard, 21-0 over Umatilla. Sounds like so that stops their 5 or 6 game losing streak. City. And next week, Josh, we got this week over at Interlochen with Crescent City and Interlochen playing each other. Two teams that really don't like each other, but don't play each other a lot either in football.
Yeah, now Corey, how about this? I mean, Corey, Crescent City's 1-1 now on the season. I mean, they played a gritty First Academy team out of Orlando last weekend, but this week they get a shutout over Umatilla. So
yeah, and they had the lead last week on the road at First Academy. What's the deal?
So that's the difference between being able to being
coaches always say you got to play four quarters.
Well, oh, absolutely. You got to play 4 quarters because if you don't play 4 quarters, what's going to happen? You're going to lose a game. Oh, wow. Yeah. How about this? Lake Gibson 29, North Miami 26, final in 3 overtimes. You know, Hassani Harper H2 recruiting there down in Polk County. So 3 overtimes tonight in a game. So there you go.
That was probably a great game to be at.
Best game I've ever seen. The best game I ever saw was Josh game between St. Thomas and Lakeland. And I believe it went like also Cocoa and Godby.
I think that St. Thomas Lakeland game was 3 overtimes.
Yeah, and Cocoa and Godby win a bunch. Fortunately, that was like a 6-3 snoozer. Came down to a field goal.
Well, Cocoa Godby. No, that was a 7. Wait a second. That was 7-6 game because you know why I say that? Because I always get reminded about that game from Shelton Cruz, who was the head coach of Godby that year.
Yeah.
When they think and your thing was a 0-0 game and it went to overtime and he went for it all. And I believe that's what he was telling me. He went for it all and you know that's what happens.
Yep,
you win some and you lose some.
Extra point. So,
yep.
Well, we're gonna stop in Daytona at the world famous Buc-ee's. You can't drive through Daytona without going to Buc-ee's.
Oh man, Corey wants to stop at Buc-ee's. All right, Corey. Well,
Josh, you want some
or beaver nuggets?
Or beaver nuggets? No. I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good. But hey, y'all have safe travels back home tonight, and we'll catch you on the flip side next week for week 3.
Sounds good.
All right.
All right. Night, Josh.
All right. Good night, Corey and Kristen. All right. That was Corey Davis joining us there in the car ride from there to back to from Palatka to from actually Port Orange, where Palatka and Port Orange Atlantic were playing here into the game and headed back that way to the region. So, anyways, it's already a few minutes after past midnight, and we're going to go ahead and sign it off. Unless y'all have any other questions, real quick for me. Otherwise, we'll go from there, and we'll go from there, and we'll see everybody Tuesday night for the Blitz 8 to 10 here on FloydHSFootball.com, of course, on Facebook and YouTube as well. I appreciate Philip Crutchfield being a big supporter behind this, and we'll do more live videos, live streaming, and all that. So. We'll see everybody soon, and I appreciate it. Everything. Oh, wait a second. Chris, I love Chris. Chris, for years owned Texas HS Football, and he created that, and he's the inspiration that started what we have here at FloydHSFootball.com. But Texas scored. This is the Texas score that he wanted to throw out, which is interesting. Texas is real fun to watch. When it comes to scores, Liberty Hill 82, Hutto 80 final score there. So that's a real interesting one. But anyways, appreciate everybody joining us here tonight and here on Friday Night Reactions. We'll have more Friday Night Reactions next week. Next Friday, of course, the Blitz on Tuesdays, 8 to 10. Join myself and Marty Paulman, and we'll talk statewide high school football around the state and stuff. So we'll see what happens. Anyways, all right. Take care, and y'all have a good night, everybody. Have a great